Good evening. How are we all today? I hope you're well and enjoying this lovely weather. Just checking that we are live. It's saying I am, but you know I like to check. There we go. All right. Okay, we can now get rid of that. Oh, hello. I have got my fan going because it's rather warm in here. If it is too loud, just let me know and I'll knock it off a bit. But of course, I can't tell myself how loud it is. I am going to be drinking quite a bit. I've got a bit of a headache coming and I really don't want it to turn into a migraine. So I am drinking quite a lot. So do excuse me while I do that. So this week I've been sharing with you the pages that I've made using the Maker Memory scrapbooking kit. The pages that I've made and been sharing are using the instructions for 3 of them and the pictures of examples that are within the kit. But I've done 6 pages and now I thought, you know what, for my live we'll use some of the bits that are left and I want to show you how much is left and see what else we can do with it. Just a couple of quick reminders. Excuse me. We've still currently got the 20% off all 2-tone cardstock. That's running until I think it's 10:59 p.m. tomorrow. It's definitely tomorrow, and I think it's 10:59 p.m. That's when things usually tend to stop, and it's because of the time differences and everything, but usually 10:59. Yeah, so all single packs and variety packs of 2-tone cardstock is now 20% off. So that's a great offer if you want to stock up on those. What else? There was something else I was going to tell you and I can't remember. No, it's gone. So you know what? Enough of me waffling. Let's switch cameras and I'll just run through the kit and then we'll get some crafting done. All right, so excuse the glare. So the instructions come with the kit. This is such a fabulous value for money. It's £34, which is one of our dearer kits, but there is so much with it. So I actually created, it wasn't the right, the 3 pages first that it gives you full instructions for. That's those 3. Okay, and then I created another 3 from these pages here. So that one, and that one. And I'm going to show you those. I made them all individually and I just want to show you how I've paired them together to make my double spread. But how well they go together, you know, there's no which goes with which. It's totally up to you. They mix and match, which I think is brilliant. Hang on a moment, Hayden.
Just, you know, you're going to want to do the dog again with the comb. We've just been fussing out.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Just been informed that my dog has a load of fleas. She's done regularly. The cats are done. The house is done. I don't know. Maybe time for the vets. So these are the first 2. And I've paired those together because all the colours mix and match, and I just think, you know, these are the moments and the little things, because they're all moments, aren't they? We have lots of moments, but the little things make up those moments, I think. So they are the two that I've put together for that spread. Hi Vic, how are you? Thanks for joining. And then I've put these two together. So it's a celebrate today. They go well together. And then I'll pop my photos and do my journaling on there. And then I've chosen these two to pair together with both having the cum cake. I think they tie nice together. Yeah, so that's the 6 that I've already made. And then this is everything that I've got left. So I've still got a load of these 4x6 cards. And when I say a load, that's 4, 5, 6. I love this. These are single-sided. So there's some that are just patterns, some that are great for journaling. Oh, it's up that way. So there's about 15 there. So, you know, there's plenty there to create lots with. Then we've got lots of die cuts still in there. And beautiful flowers and strawberries. Those are some offcuts. We've got lots of tags and journaling pieces left. And there's lots more still in this one. There's still lots of pieces in there. That's another tag. And then we've got these stickers. Still got a fair few of those left. Yeah, some to be going at. And then these titles on there. These are strips. You get 2 sheets of paper that's made up of all strips that you just cut up however you want to use those. And then we've got, how many pieces of this have I got left? Again, there's loads. 1, 2, I like those blues. 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's another 6 pages there. Oh, hello, Carol. Excellent. Thank you for joining. Hope your journey's going okay in this heat. I hope they've got good aircon in that train. So, yeah, as you can see, there's lots to this kit. And I think it's excellent value for money. So, I thought, let's just have a play and see what we can do. And I want to use some more of these cards because I think these are fabulous. Now, with those, I didn't think of my pairs at all for my pages. I just did whatever. But I am going to actually have a look and see this time. Right, so I've got the 2 beigey ones. So we could have those as a pair. Or we can use something totally different and bring in a pair. But I do like those and those together. All good. What's the name of that kit? I like the unique style of this paper. It's the Make a Memory scrapbooking kit. It's fabulous. The papers are gorgeous and they're really quite thick as well. They've got a good sturdy. They're thicker than our 2-tone cardstock. Not quite as thick as... No. They're just single-sided, which is great when you've got, or I think it is, when you've only got a select amount, you don't have to decide which side to use. So, yeah. Right, so I'm going to put that with that one, and that with that one. and I think we need to be doing these tonight. And I want that one as my statement one and that one to follow. Do I want it that way? No, I'm going to have it that way because I can, and that's what I want. So I'm just going to grab some of these and see which we could use. That one I like because that brings in the yellow on there. With the journaling ones, we'll pop to one side because I might use one of those, or I might use one of the little die cuts that we've got. That would bring in flowers again. The darling duckling spots, but I don't want spots with stripes. I like that because it brings in the blue. That is too much for me. I quite like that to bring in some pink into. No more stripes. Heart. The hearts is quite a fun because that's got all the colours of those. More flowers. Right, so we've got those. You love the blue card. That one with the leaves on, or that one? The swooshes, for want of a better word. I mean, they would make gorgeous card fronts, wouldn't they? Which I think is, if I've got any, well, I will have some left. That's what I'm going to do. Right. I think I want a heavier one on there. Yeah, it's epic. The leaves one. The second one's good. Yeah. It's gorgeous, isn't it, that? I want something a bit heavier for on there. And then I think I'm going to bring in, I think I like the hearts that brings in every colour on there. And maybe a bit of that as well. Right, let's have a look what we can find. Because we've got lots of strips here. So we can add some strips if we want to, which I think I'm going to. I don't want that stripe though, even though I like it. Quite like the darker, to echo the darker from that. So I'm going to cut that. Like I say, I don't normally work on a spread like this, matching them up. I usually use the same stuff and just go with it. Create one, then create the other. But I thought I'd try something a little bit different. And I'm going to have that across there. And I'm going to tear that. And then we want that. And I always look at my screen because it looks better on my screen. It looks different on my screen to what it does in real life. See, I quite like that. And I have got that I am just going to grab. I've got some flips and flaps actually. The flips and flaps, flip flaps. And I've also got some templates for photos. So we can use some of these as well. Now on here, I want some smaller photos. And I'm thinking like that on there. And then I'm going to use one of these, the 3x4 flip flaps. Then I will have my journaling hidden because it's quite a busy, so that will go there to have that in, and then my journaling will be underneath that. So I like that layout, and then I'll decorate. In fact, I'm going to do this one and put these down. I never have a set way of working. Some people do. I tend not to. I just go with however I'm feeling. So I'm just going to rip those off there, so it's not such a straight edge. And I am, if I can start it, going to rip all the way down here. How's your weather, Vic? Are you extremely hot again? I'm not liking this at all. Hi, Rachel. You have this set and not used it. You look for it. Well, to be honest, I'm going rogue. I have made 6 pages already that I've been putting out this week, and I've just run through 3 following the instructions, because there's the full instructions for 3, and then I've done another 3 with the examples shown on the instructions. But now I've decided I'm just going off on my own. So I'm going to have that there. I'll glue this down. Today's been a lot sunny, 30 degrees around. We've spent the day at home below cooler. Oh, how nice to have aircon. I've been in the car most of the day, thankfully, with the aircon. My glue has got that warm. It's all spurting out. Yeah, it's been 28 here, they've said. My car was reading higher, but the car was reading just over 30 at times. But yeah, I was quite thankful to be in the car. I had a hospital appointment this morning, and I used Dell's car because it's smaller than mine. It's easier to park. But then I had to, his gas has gone in his air conditioning. So I had to go and get mine. Which way? We're going to go that way with those. And I am going to keep those straight. Yeah, I couldn't have drove because I had to take Hayden for an appointment and sit and wait for him. And there was no way I could have sat and waited in a car with no air conditioning. It wasn't nice. Add that there. As you can see, I'm very happy-go-lucky with where I place things. If I like it, I put it. If I'm unsure, I put it, and it works itself out. Right, so that one will go there. I'm not going to stick these down. And then this will go in here. And we'll go off there. And then I'll have my journaling. So I'm going to stick that down. Oops. And that looks somewhat level enough for me. And then we'll find a journaling piece to go under there. And what I might do is use a tag. And then the tag will pop out the top. So I'll go with this one, pink and blue. And pop that out. And then I can have that just popping out there. And then it'll be stuck on there. I'm only going to put glue below the top of the tag so that I can make that look like it does actually stick out and is a proper tag. Alright, I'm just lining it up with the edge. There we go. I'll put that on there. And we've got those like that. And then I'm going to find some twine or something after to pop on there. Let's have a look at some decoration, shall we? There's lots of gorgeous images in here. Do I want flowers? I think I'm going to go hearts on this, with having the hearts. But I'm going to use the big one on there. So I've got these two others here. I might do a mix of hearts and a couple of flowers. Maybe, we'll see. But I like that. But I want something to allow that to pop. So we can go, have we got a yellow border? Baba. Just allows that to pop off there. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Right, so I'm going to dimensional this. I don't dimensional too much on scrapbook pages, but occasionally I do like to. I'm out of, well, say I'm out. In my little cubby, I'm out of standard dimensionals. And I can't reach them from here in my drawer. So I shall just use my mini. Then we'll have that straight there. You're curious to know how you store all those scrapbook pages. It's not popular here in France and people don't know what kind of usage for it. Me personally, at the moment, I have them all in page protectors, the 12 by 12 page protectors, and mine are all just on a shelf. They were in a file on my desk. I've got shelves in front of me where I keep all my 12 by 12s. But I need that space for cardstock. So I've moved them onto a shelf. But I do want to get some of the files, the albums that we sell. And I like the D-ring rather than the post. And I'll put them in there because a lot of these obviously are standalone pages. They don't follow through that I make on a Thursday. Oh, we've got a cat come say hello. So I'll just use them as and when I get some photos and I think, oh, they'll go with that. But yeah, I have thought of using a really useful box. Because they do some, I can't remember the size of it, I've got lots here, but they easily fit 12 by 12 in, slightly larger, so it fits the page protectors in, but I do like to keep them in page protectors. Otherwise things get knocked and flicked off and damaged. And after you've spent all that time creating something beautiful, you don't want it damaged, do you? I mean, I've got 2 D-ring files that I've done when we used to do the Project Life. I did Hayden's baby album with that. I prefer that on there. And I will just put a glue dot and find a glue dot. I thought I had some little ones. I tend to keep the ones that are spare out of the kits because I don't find them as sticky as these. I mean, they're perfectly usable, but I just find our standard ones stickier. But I'll just roll one of them, take some of the sticky off it and pop that on there, so we've got it on for the photo after. Right, I am happy with that. I don't put too many embellishments on either. My scrapbook pages. Right, so we'll carry on with this one. So we've got the heart that follows through, we've got the zigzags that's following through and all the colours. This to tie in with the strip that's on the other page. Actually, I might go back to that other one and put some leaves on it. Right, this one, I want a 4x6 photo. And I think I'm going to have it that way. And we will have a title on here. I think this one's going to be extremely simple because I'm not feeling like it needs a lot. We'll have a title on here of somewhere, and then let's grab some leaves. So let's look at the title first. And I'm thinking of going just hello, a yellow. We've got a yellow hello, and that'll just be quite nice up there. Right, this is coming together very simply and I'm liking it. My glue's going to start and run out. Pop that on there. And again, I'll use a glue dot, screwed up. Just to stick this into place so I know where it's going to go. And then we'll raise this. Well, I must admit, 12 by 12 scrapbooking frightened me. Having that huge blank piece of paper in front of me, I was like, where do I start? Which is why I used to love Project Life, Memories and More. And then I just gave it a go. I was like, you know what? It's just a large card. Same kind of rules apply. I think scrapbooking's actually easier now. I find it a lot easier creating a page than a card sometimes. We'll have that on there. And then I am going to go for that hello. Just reading what the others were, and I might add one of the other ones on And I'm thinking I might put the enjoy the now. Hello, enjoy the now. I think that makes quite a nice well, it's not a sentence, is it, but a statement. Okay, I'll have that on there. You love scrapbooks, Carol. Yeah. Like I say, I am really enjoying it. Weren't sure. Like I say, they scared me, but yeah. Right, I'm going to bring in some leaves, which I am going to, and making mini folios. Yeah. I've mentioned before, I mean, I love making folios, mini albums, all that kind of. I I enjoy the creating of them, the building and the base decorating more than the actual decorating, which is strange. But yeah, I do enjoy that more. Right, I think we'll go for might go. We haven't got any. Oh, we have got the secret C. So yeah, I'll go with those. And we'll add in a couple of these on here. Just thinking where I quite like it over there. So it pops out. Or we could. Oh. Is there any problem with them being sticky? Yeah, we'll have it from out of there. I'm still not convinced about how you could use those big pages, but I bought the big album. Excellent. I'm sure you take lots of photos, Vic. I mean, I've done some like special days for Hayden and stuff, you know, or even if I've just particularly took a nice photo of him, I've used that. And I like, yeah, it's just really mainly when for these, when it's a nice photo of something. My mini albums and that tend to be for special occasions, like on stage. I've done quite a few for on stage and use them. Because that's when I take lots of photos and I can easily film them. But I'm sure you'd find. I mean, really, yeah, they do go. They get put in wherever you're keeping them. And how often do you look at them? Not that often, I don't suppose, really. But it's just nice creating them, I think, anyway. So I might pop that on this one to follow it through. On there, so I'm going to chop that. Oh, my dog's back. Has anyone had any real good product for fleas and had lots of success with it? I'll pop it over the corner. So just peek out. That's okay, Vic. I'm not the best at explaining, probably. But, you know, always like to try and help. I've got some of this one left over as well. So we can, that's a piece of that one, which is left over. So we can use that. And I'll just tore it. Well, not a bit particular where I wanted it, but we can Find a place for that. There we go, that'll sprig up from there. That just adds a little bit extra. You love how your designs have changed over the year. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I can't look back much really and see, because I haven't been doing it that long. But a friend of mine, she scrapbooked many years ago, and yet the styles of hers, and like she says, it's quite shocking, the trends and that, some of the trends and that were in them, that like now makes things look very old-fashioned. We'll have a little bit of that one. I'll stick that. These are so sticky. Stick that under there, like so. But yeah, it's quite surprising how fashions change and what you like. Alright, so I'm going to find that second statement for this side, or sentiment. Whatever you get from the vets. Because I use Frontline. And it's always worked in the past, no problem. And I've got a few different things that I use for house spray. I've even gone and brought natural remedy collars. And yeah. Hello, enjoy the now. Or hello. Could have hello life, actually. But no, I think hello, this is us. That's a nice one, isn't it? Hello, this is us. I could put it, no, that one's up there, so I want this one down. We'll have it here. And I'm going to put it right to that edge to follow. So it's slightly lower than where that comes, just so we've got lots of things. This is us. Oh, good. Good choice, Vic. All right. So I'm really happy with that. This, I think, needs... I like it, but I'm thinking it needs a little bit something else. So let's just see what we've actually... I could use... I'm thinking wrong colour, but a banner down there just to break that. But that one is the wrong colour. And there isn't one on there. In fact, could use one of those tiny yellow little banners. Just behind there. No, not feeling that. So what we got on here? Could bring in some flowers. I don't really want to bring in flowers as well though. Right, maybe we need a strip, and I can cut a strip. We could do pink spots, which would echo the pink and white from that, but echo the spots from there. I'm kind of thinking. You love that you use flip flap so that nothing remains permanent. Yeah, that's another good thing about the flip flaps. You can change your photos out, can't you? But yeah, it's nice sometimes to hide your journaling. It might be that you want to say something that you don't want others to see. Or you don't want, like with me, my handwriting's not particularly neat. And I find sometimes my handwriting spoils the effect of the page. So if it's hidden under there, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm going to cut some of this. That's what I want. I am going to use some bling on these. Do I want it as thick as it is? Because it's quite a thick strip, this one. So I'll cut it, and then I might end up actually trimming it down. So I'm thinking of just having a bit like that. So it's just under 4 inches I want it. Do 3 3/4, and then we can see where we get to. I think it needs to be a little bit shorter than that. So I'm going to cut another 1/4 inch off. It's 3 1/2. That's better. And then I could just put it all under there, but why waste all of that? So it's 1 1/2 inches. I'm going to cut it in half, 3/4. I know I'm stating the obvious there, but you know. I'm just going to glue that popping out under there. I've got to make sure that that is straight. And that can go down like that. That's better. It just breaks that up a little bit. Right. Let's see what bling we've got. I'll pop my little bit of this back on my sheet. But I'll stick it on this other piece of stickers on my sentiments, because there's some bigger spaces rather than trying to get it back in where it belongs. Okay, some bling. Have a drink. Let's see what we've got. I want some twine as well. So I've got white twine I could pop on it. I don't think I've got any other colours that are in it. I think those have gone now. Right. What shall we use? We've got white pearls that would go. Or we've got some of the rainbow dots, which they're a possibility. Or we've got ink colours, because we've got quite a few of the ink colours in here. Oh, I've got the muted palette dots. It's actually, even though there's a lot of the ink colours in this, they are quite muted. So I think those would go really well. Right, so let's do a bow for our tag. I don't think I've got a ribbon actually. I think it's going to have to be twine, because I think the ink colour ribbons are too harsh. And then the other one's basic beige that I've got. I'm out of white. How can I be out? I need some more ribbons. I'm out of white ribbon. That's terrible. I've already got a perfect match. They are, aren't they? I've already got a bow on here, and I think I am literally just going to stick it down rather than, do I want it pulled? No, we'll have it a bit more pulled through. I do tend to change my mind a lot. I can be quite indecisive. I can say one thing and then do another, but isn't that what we're allowed to do as crafters? which is what I love, that you can have an idea and then as it carries on, you don't actually stick to that exact idea. There we go. That's quite pretty on there. Just a little tiny bit of twine. Right, so let's grab these dots. And I'm going to concentrate on one page at a time. It's funny, isn't it? I'm just adding a little something can make all the difference. Right, so we can go for a multiple of colours or we can just stick. And I think I'm going to go blue on this one. My cat's knocking stuff off. I quite like a blue one there. A large one. That's what I like about scrapbook pages as well. You can use your larger embellishments, because sometimes the larger ones can look a bit odd on cards, and quite like keeping them around by the foliage. I'll go 2 there. But yeah, sometimes they can be a bit large, can't they, for cards? But on the scrapbook page, they look perfect. So that's that one. And then we'll bring over our other page. And we will use a little bit of... I think we'll go the yellow on this. Darling Duckling. And again, do I want it by the foliage? We should, shouldn't we? We should keep it similar. A big one there. Big one off there. And a little one over by this one. I love these. I'd forgot I got these, but they're really nice. I haven't touched, because this is off the Boho suite, isn't it? I haven't touched it yet. I mean, obviously there's lots of other things you could bring in and use, but I did want to keep to mainly using the kit, just to show exactly how much you can do. So yeah, there we go. That's our pages for tonight. I think I prefer this one, and I tend to find that one goes a lot easier than the other. But I've still got, as you've seen, plenty left, and I will keep going. I shall make more this weekend, and I shall put some photos up of all the others. But yeah, I need to use more of these flip-flaps. You know, I could even put a flip-flap on there, which would be quite good. Have I got? I've used a couple, not many. I think it'll be better with an upwards one. Thank you, Carol. If I did one of these on here, let's rip that off there. I'll take that glue dot off there into the bin. We can use that again. But this would be in here. And then that can go on there. No, because I haven't spaced those out enough. The spacing's not right with using the flip-flap on everything around it. So, but not a problem. We'll stick that back on there until I've done my photos and I get a photograph that I want to use. Yeah, there we go. And then we've got all the others that I created that I've been sharing throughout the week. You may have seen them on my Facebook page. I'll just quickly grab those and show them again in case you wasn't here. They were all created separately and I've paired them up just with how I want them to go. But see, it will make a nice scrapbook in itself all together because they all coordinate. Once the photos are on, I mean, that's 4 double page spreads that I've got done ready. And I'm going to make, hopefully, another 2. I think I've got enough for, you can say. Yeah, another 2. So, yeah, plenty. And of course you get the stickers in the other languages as well. I don't do languages. I take it that's French and German. But yeah, I never took languages at school. I have enough problems with English. Right, let me pop this away. Switch you back. I'm rather warm now. Gosh, I hope the fan hasn't been annoying for you. It's been fabulous for me. I've really needed it. I'm going to go and have a shower now and call off. But thanks very much for joining. It's lovely to have you with me. And yeah, keep a lookout for the other pages that I do. And I shall be back live next week. At 1:30 for card making. Normally card making. Sometimes I do something a bit different. And scrapbooking at 7:30. So thanks very much and I'll see you all soon. Bye. You're welcome, Vic.